Hello, all you amazing people. Welcome to the video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what to do if your DPDR has come back. In this video, I'm going to explain why it might have come back and also what you can do about it. And stick around until the end because I'm going to show you what you can do to get rid of it permanently. The very first thing to do is to absolutely remind yourself that this is not your fault. You didn't want it to come back, but it's just come back for whatever reason. If you do start to blame yourself, then you are quickly going to spiral down and things are going to start to get out of control. What happens when your DPDR comes back? It can be very disheartening if your DPDR has gone, then a year later it comes back. Some things you will feel are worried, scared, annoyed, frustrated, defeated. This defeated one can also sort of lead to a big thing because if you are defeated, essentially you might give up, which means this time it might actually stay. So really get out of that defeated mindset. You've overcome it before, you can overcome it again. The first step is to realize and accept that this is happening to you and to do your best to get on top of it as quickly as possible. When you first had DPDR, you probably spent a lot of time researching, panicking, wondering what was going on. Now you know exactly what's happening. So you can skip all that, skip ahead from all that, and start to get on top of this thing as quickly as possible to get it back out of your life permanently. Things to remind yourself. If your DPDR has come back, it might throw you into a panic, which will make the symptoms worse. It's important to remind yourself of some important facts, which are you overcame it before, you can do it again. It probably won't be as bad this time because you know what's happening. Like before, you know it won't do any lasting damage. Because you know what's happening, you can immediately start to do what you need to do to recover. You've already been through this. You already have the knowledge. You already have the awareness. Start implementing all this stuff to really propel you forward with this. You have a lot of tools, knowledge, and experience from a previous time with it. Draw upon those tools to help you this time. What did you do last time that helped you recover? Do that again. Anything that you can think of that helped you recover last time, do it again this time because the chances are it's going to help you again. You might fall into trouble where your DPDR just sort of went and you're not really sure why. This is also potentially the key to why it came back. What to do to get it gone forever. If last time you had DPDR and it just went away on its own, that means it might come back because instead of processing your anxiety and triggers, you just got distracted, you forgot about it, you kept busy, etc. So now that another trigger has come along, it has re-triggered your DPDR because you never processed it in the first place. This is the main reason it comes back. If it did just go away on its own, that can be an absolute blessing. But the only issue with that is that you never really figured out why it was there in the first place. You never really processed anything or got to the triggers or got to how you were thinking and all that type of stuff. So it means that it might actually come back. What to do to get it gone forever? To get it gone forever, you need to understand your thoughts around the things that trigger you. Is it social anxiety, putting too high expectations on yourself, never resolving the habit of following your intrusive thoughts or always checking in on yourself, thinking you're a failure and deserve this? All of these things can trigger you and all of these things can keep it going. So unless you actually resolve them and talk about them and just get some kind of awareness around them, there is the possibility that the DPDR can come back. Once you form these healthy habits and understand why you think the way you do, you won't have the same reaction to the triggers. So in other words, you might not even get triggered, or if you do, they won't cause DPDR. And essentially, this is what it's all about. It's all about the understanding. It's understanding, why are you thinking the way that you're thinking? Why are you having these intrusive thoughts? Why, with the existential questions, do you feel that you need to answer them when there might not even be an answer? As an example, someone who I was coaching through DPDR mentioned that they feel really disconnected from their family. And this was a big problem for them. And they kept having these existential questions of, well, what if my life isn't real? What if my family isn't real? And how can I prove that they are real? And that's essentially the problem, because essentially you can't really prove that they're real, can you? And that sort of puts you in a difficult bind because you can't really prove that they're real. But also, even if you did get that proof, it's not going to satisfy you and you're just going to keep asking that question over and over. So that's why it's never really useful to deal with the symptoms themselves. It's much better to get to the core issue. So through a bit of chatting about that, we actually dug a little bit deeper, and what we found was that this person was actually really afraid of being alone. So these existential questions were just her brain trying to really confirm to her that she's not alone because she's so afraid of it. So of course, once you understand that, then you can look at, well, why is it so difficult for you to be alone? You know, how do you even know that you are going to be alone? And then once you look at why is it so difficult, then you can go deeper and deeper. Oh, because I need connection. Oh, because I feel safety, and just all this other stuff. And you see, once you get down into those layers, then you process all this stuff and you realize this. So then the next time that a trigger might come around of, oh, my friend canceled on me, so now that's going to make me feel alone. So that's going to trigger my DPDR and give these existential thoughts back. Now you know why you have it. And now you're able to realize, well, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm alone. And, you know, this feeling of being alone doesn't bother me anymore because I understand it. So that is really the key to overcoming this once and for all. It's not just meditating or accepting that you've got the symptoms or just giving up or, you know, just sort of ignoring it all. If you get down into the nitty gritty, then you can really start to understand what's happening. And then that is your ticket out of this permanently. So you might be wondering, well, how do I get down to the nitty gritty? Well, the best and sort of easiest and quickest way to do this is to talk to somebody about it. And that could be a therapist, a counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or I do the modality of coaching to help people through this. But if for whatever reason you can't get therapy or do coaching with me, then go and get some books which are really going to help you sort of get down into those layers. And one of the books I can recommend is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. That's actually a bit of a sort of self-help classic. And he talks about shifting your paradigms, you know, shifting how you see the world and understanding yourself and just sort of the habits that you need to get into to start to have this understanding and to get to the life that you want. And if you did want to do coaching with me to really get down into those layers and to overcome this forever, then get in touch. All my contacts are in the description of the video. And until next time, everyone, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.